From the Library of Congress in Washington, D.C.
A children's literature supergroup, the way Clapton and Winwood formed Blind Faith, or Paul Rogers and Jimmy Page formed The Firm. I'm going to claim David Shannon as a local since he was born in Washington, but he left when he was still in diapers. But maybe he'll be back when you're back in diapers. That would be nice. He began his career as an illustrator for a large New York City-based newspaper. He moved to children's books with How Many Spots Does a Leopard Have? And in 1999, he won the Caldecott Honor for No David, which he wrote and illustrated. And since then, young readers everywhere have been saying, yes, David. As for Jon, it's hard to believe there was a time before the true story of the Three Little Pigs or the Stinky Cheese Man and other fairly stupid tales. With those sly, clever, slightly subversive books, he almost overnight changed the children's book business. This morning, Washington Post publisher Catherine Weymouth, my big boss, described the true story of the Three Little Pigs as a leading example of investigative journalism. Jon Scieszka is the Bob Woodward of the Sippy Cup set. He's devoted much of his career to encouraging boys to read, and he's the first national ambassador for young people's literature, which means he has diplomatic immunity. He can park anywhere in Washington. He doesn't have to pay for his parking tickets. They're together on our stage this afternoon because they're together between the covers of their latest book, Robot Zot. Please welcome Jon Scieszka and David Shannon.
Thank you. Wow. Have you ever got such a wonderful, warm welcome, Mr. Shannon?
Not outside of my family.
This is mostly Dave's family anyhow. It's not really fair. So what are we going to do today, Mr. Shannon?
Well, I don't know. We don't have very much time.
We've got all day. This is the hardcore crowd.
Yeah.
Stay until the bitter end. Let's hear it for this crowd. Yeah. Dave and I actually did think we were going to come out here and see like 3 sick children.
Yeah.
Just like huddled in a corner.
Yeah.
Looking for their moms who left them. And then Dave was going to read them a story.
Yeah, Charles Dickens and 2 kids. Yeah.
But we thought today maybe we would give you a little insight as to how we work together. And then we're going to leave plenty of time for questions. And then we're also just going to give some answers.
Yeah.
Do you have some answers?
I do have some answers. Yes.
Yes, nice.
Red.
Uh-huh.
And 170 pounds.
Wow, nice. So there you have it. Thanks for coming. No, we got lots of stuff.
That's how old I am, by the way.
Oh, 170 pounds.
Yes.
That's how old you are. Mm-hmm. Excellent. Well, I've known Dave for a while, but it was a couple years ago when we started working on the Trucktown books, when Dave and I really got together.
Yep.
So I had written all these stories about trucks who behave like 4-year-olds. Because I actually went and hung out with 4-year-olds that year at a school near me in Brooklyn, which convinced me that I would never be a pre-K teacher. Ever. That's a tough crowd.
It is. Jon was a little freaked out by the pre-K crowd at first.
Well, freaked out wasn't quite the word. I think they're like Alzheimer's patients on acid.
Yeah.
Like everything was brand new.
We had one kid that just stood in front of the first time Jon ever read Trucktown, and he was used to a little older crowd. And there's this one little kid about this tall with a lot of mucus, and he stood right in front of Jon as Jon was reading and kept saying, "What's coming? What's coming?"
And then even after the big reveal.
Yeah, even after the part in the story where we show what's coming. What's coming?
And then in beautiful 4-year-old fashion, he just ripped an enormous fart. Just standing there looking at us.
Yeah.
And Dave was in the audience.
And that Okay, he tried to warn us. That's what it was.
So we finally found our true audience. Enough of the sophisticated storytelling. We're just going to let it rip.
And the next
In a manner of speaking.
The next kid that asks us what's coming, we're heading out. I don't know, but we are going.
We are going is a better way to say it. And fortunately, since I am the ambassador, I have full diplomatic immunity, which I can extend to everyone in this tent for at least the next 20 minutes or so. Any parking tickets you have, just rip them up. Don't worry about them. Except till maybe next week. And so I was working with Dave in Trucktown, and he and I decided we should do a book together. Because then we could get rid of those other guys.
Yeah, just the two of us. Get rid of all that.
So I thought up of
baggage.
a story with a robot. I thought, who can bring metal to life better than Dave Shannon? Nobody. So this is what I came up with, the story of Robot Zot.
Yeah, and the nice thing was we actually, most of the time when an illustrator and an author do a book together, they keep them separate, mainly to protect the illustrator, so that the author's not looking over his shoulder and stuff. And sometimes I don't even meet the author when I illustrate a book. But in this case, John and I were already friends, so they couldn't do that. So we got to talk about this story a lot before John wrote the whole thing and before I did any of the pictures. So we found that something that was particularly helpful in coming up with good ideas was expensive dinners. Particularly if they were charged to the publisher.
That's part of the working process, anybody who wants to be a writer.
Yes. So anyway, we were able to work the story out so that there were things that John wrote about that I didn't put in the pictures, and there were things I put in the pictures that John didn't write about. So that we were able to really, because ideally that's what a children's book does, is the words tell part of it and the pictures tell another part of it, and when you put it together with the reader's imagination, that tells the whole story. And we were able to really kind of exploit that whole sort of idea.
Which is just another way of Dave telling you he didn't listen to any of the good ideas I told him.
Yeah.
It's kind of an illustrator thing. I'd say, hey, he'd be great if he was green. And Dave says, yeah, I think he'll be red. Thanks.
Yeah, no sweat. So you want to read it?
Should I?
Yeah.
Oh, all right.
Yes.
You talked me into it.
They tell us we're not supposed to read it but we're going to anyway,
Because we have diplomatic immunity.
Yeah, exactly.
But it is also a great demonstration of how you can have a text and have pictures show exactly the opposite and still make a book. Because look at that beautiful title page of the gigantic spaceship just flying through outer space. And the first page is this enormous robot striding through his ship. And he says, Robot Zot, Wham-bot. Robot Zot, Bam-bot. Look at that guy. And he's got his little pet bot trailing along. He looks out and he sees the planet. Does anyone recognize that planet? Earth. He looks at Earth and he says, no one stop Robot Zot. Robot Zot, crush lot. So he crash lands on Earth. And he charges to attack the Earth army, yelling, Robot Zot, never fall. Robot Zot, conquer all. And you turn the page to discover
Robot Zot, 3 inches tall.
he's standing in the middle of somebody's kitchen. And that huge door he was charging through is the doggy door. And his little bot, meanwhile, is standing next to him looking like this. But Zot spies the enemy. Which happens to look a lot like a blender a coffee maker, and a mixer. So Zot attacks. He says, take that, and that, and that. And he beats up all the kitchen appliances. Affirmative. But then the captain of the Earth Army challenges him. Can you guys tell what that is? The toaster.
Yeah.
He sees someone looking at him in the toaster who looks a lot like his reflection. And he says, who you looking at, tough guy? Bam! Or no. Whoa! Wait a minute, I just read that like half the story and he makes one lousy noise? That's not right.
It's all in the talent, man.
Zot put his gun away and never shot it again. Ever.
He put it on mute.
Then he blasted one more.
I will at the TV.
Like a machine gun. Like a machine gun underwater. Like a machine gun underwater with Russian bullets.
No.
Then Zot heard from somewhere upstairs a voice issuing a foul challenge. Is your breath not smelling minty fresh? You say what? Said Zot. Maybe you should try minty pine fresh. Maybe you should shut transmission sender, says Zot. And he fights his way upstairs through the coils of a vacuum cleaner. And this is the first time you see in the background, in the kitchen, there's a man standing there scratching his head, looking at like, what happened to my kitchen? Who beat up all my appliances? Then Zot challenges his foe. Aha, says Robot Zot. Who is talking large now? And guess what he's challenging? His TV. One quick spritz in the morning. Stop transmission, or Zot will wham your bot. And you'll be lemon minty. Oh, don't applaud for that, for God's sake. This is a book festival. If this was the National Noise-Making Festival, I could see it.
So, I answered my challenge. How do you spell that?
P-Z-F-C-K-A. And Zot says, Zot was not joking. Zot is never joking.
Any moms and dads want to do that once in a while?
Once in a while. Don't stir them up, man.
The librarians love that piece.
But then Zot blasts into the Earth bunker and spots the most beautiful Earth queen ever. It's a little girl's cell phone. A shaped kind of more curvy version of Zot. Bring, bring, says the queen. What, says Zot? You need my help? Bring, bring. And for the first time ever, Zot feels something more than war in his machinery.
It's love.
Don't give it away, Dave.
Zot love.
Zot love. But unfortunately, the queen is guarded by two evil guards.
Scary.
Whoa. And the scary one on the left says, Mama. The evil one on the right says,
Dad.
Zot looks at him and thinks something Zot has never thought. He thinks, Zot is scared. But what? Am I a chicken bot? No. Zot is hero bot. So he grabs the queen and dashes off as fast as he can. Here, Robot Zot. No one can stop Robot Zot. No one except Earth's Commander General. Who is a big black puppy. And Earth's fearsome Commander General says, "Woof! Stand back," says Zot. "Woof, woof," says the General. "Zot means business." "Woof, woof, woof," says the General. "No," says Zot. "I will save you, Queen." Zot attacks the General, yelling, "Hero Zot never fall. Hero Zot conquer all." Zot charges after the General and he disappears. The man came and scooped him up.
Yeah.
Except Zot doesn't know it. He's got the best look on his face. He said, "Yes, I am victorious. I have conquered the Earth army." So Zot flies off happily with his queen and his pet bot to save more days. Wham bot, always Robot Zot. And what you thought was a moon actually turns out to be the cantaloupe that he smashed into. And then the very last page is a man yelling at his dog. Aww. And all the broken vacuum cleaners and everything. The end.
Very nice. All right.
I didn't realize that was such a sad ending.
Yeah. Well, you know, you can't sugarcoat it with kids. They detect that stuff. So
Tough love, Shannon.
yeah. So Zot, all of his enemies aren't really alive, are they? They're just stuff around the house. So I thought maybe
We can make more noise than you can.
Robot Zot! Robot Zot! Robot Zot! Robot Zot! Yes!
We're gonna get kicked out of here.
Yeah, we are. It's okay, it's the end of the festival.
Oh, all right.
Yeah,
Who
what can
cares?
they do?
Robot Zot.
Yeah. Sooner we get kicked out, the sooner we eat. Anyway, what do you say we design Zot's perfect enemy?
Yeah.
Okay, you guys can help?
Mr. Shannon needs some help drawing. He needs some suggestions.
So we're gonna just make up this enemy out of things that are around the house that aren't alive, just like, you know, stuff in the kitchen or whatever. So what do you think his head should be made of? Yeah, what do you think? An electric toothbrush? Hold on to that thought.
See, this is what illustrators do.
What do you think? What? An oven. I like that. We'll do an oven. Is that going to be his body or his head?
Your call, Mr. Illustrator.
All right. Let's make it his body.
Whatever makes you happy. Really,
Yeah.
this is what this is all about.
All right.
Forget the writer, who also happens to be an ambassador. You just draw, you know, what you feel.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, okay. This is the magic of Mr. Shannon.
Okay, we're getting there. All right, there is our oven.
Nice.
Now, what do you think his head should be? Did someone say a TV? All right.
Yeah. Another classic illustrator trick. You might have heard this from your mom when she says, "Oh, you'd like to wear that? Good, you can wear this."
Yeah. Now,
That's what happened to Dave as a child.
I like to draw old-fashioned TVs. So, you guys know what that is?
No, none of us do, Mr. Shannon.
That's a channel changer. See, when I was a little kid, the remote had not been invented yet. The zapper. So if you wanted to change channels, you had to get up, change the channel, sit on the couch. Oh, look at me now, I'm channel surfing.
Unless you had a little brother.
Yeah.
That's what we used.
The prototype of the remote was the little brother. Hey, go change the channel. But luckily there were only 3 channels, so it didn't take too long. And then they had this thing on here. This was called an antenna, because there was no such thing as cable or satellite. Yeah, we can make those into eyes, okay? You guys notice how a lot of my drawings have goofy eyes, where like one eye's higher than the other? You know why that is?
Don't show them. No, don't. It's scary.
My face is lopsided, and one of my eyes is higher than the other. You want to see? All right.
No.
I'm going to hold my head so that my ears are level, and then I'll tilt my head so that my eyes are level. And you'll be able to see the difference, okay? I'll come all the way around, so.
Look away if you're squeamish,
Yeah.
because I've seen this.
Okay, ready? Ears are level, eyes are level.
Oh, they're freaking out.
Ears are level, eyes are level.
Is that horrendous?
And children, this is what happens when you're bad. Ears, eyes. Ears, eyes. Ears, eyes. Thought I was kidding you, didn't you?
Well,
All right.
and you're going to get applause for that, too?
Heck yeah.
Yeah, why not? Go ahead.
All right,
Give
now
a
we're
good
gonna-
clap for him. He's shameless.
Now we're going to put that toothbrush right here as a little neck.
Yeah, the toothbrush made it
An
in.
electric toothbrush right there, very small.
We need some stuff for the robot to get around, too. How does
Yeah,
he
we
move
do.
around?
This is kind of a shortened version because we have so little time. So I think we better have 2 toothbrushes, though. All right.
Yeah, I think we only got time for feet and go, Mr.
Yep. Okay. So now what are we gonna use for feet? Something so he can go. What do you think? Forks. Cool. Okay.
Fork feet. I like it. How come he listens to you? He doesn't listen to me.
Oh, how about a spoon over here for his other foot?
All right, now that's more like it. Should be a knife, she said. Oh, you didn't hear that, did you?
Oh well. Here we go.
Oh. Nice. That's one scary robot, Mr. Shannon.
And we don't really have time to color it in. So there it is.
Let's hear it for
Zot's
Mr.
Perfect
Shannon.
Enemy.
All right, we
Really
got.
scary.
Now that's legitimate applause. I could see that.
Yeah,
That's
all right.
nice.
Okay.
I think we got time for some questions. We need questions. Big people, you can ask questions
There's
too.
a pink question
Yes, a
right
pink-
there.
Yes.
Oh, he's got a microphone.
What inspired us to do so many robots? Because I love robots, and when I saw that Dave could paint robots, I thought that'd be cool.
Yeah, but you know what? I can't paint like really fancy, shiny, smooth metal very well.
Yeah, it's kind of
I
messy
like-
metal.
It's kind of beat up old rusty metal is what I like to draw.
Nice. Oh, there's the guys
Yeah.
with mics.
Oh,
They-
okay.
ready to
Here's
go.
our questions.
Do you think you've changed much as think you've changed much as when you were a little kid?
Oh, that's kind of nice. Does he think I changed much from when I was a little kid?
You know what? He's got exactly the same amount of hair he was born with.
Yeah, it's true. The hairdo is exactly the same. And you know what? And I like the same kind of funny stuff. Except now I can get paid for it. Back when I was going to Catholic school, I used to get hit on the head for it. So it works out kind of good. That's a great question.
Now, by the
What's
way,
your favorite book?
I was just going to say, when I walked up here this morning, was it you? somebody looked at me and went, "Mr. Shannon, you've changed."
Yeah, his eyes got weirder.
Kind of spooked me. Yeah.
What's your favorite book, Mr. Shannon?
My favorite book.
You mean of the ones he did or of my books?
My favorite book is
Both.
Knucklehead
Everything.
by Jon Scieszka. Yeah, because I grew up in Spokane, Washington, same latitude, pretty much the same time, a little bit later than John did. And so a lot of those stories ring very true to me.
Like
yeah.
peeing on the heater?
Well, we didn't call them
Dave,
call them sword fights.
I think you
we
can
called
learn
them dog
some.
fights.
You can learn some new things, David, like peeing on the heater. How do we show that? You can do it in sign language, Dave.
Are you messing with the
How do you say,
signer?
oh, urination is what my mom insisted you say.
Yeah, like,
I like that. Oh, we better get another question. I don't know where we went there. Whoa.
like this.
Oh, wait, here's one.
Go ahead, Alice. Were you really bad when you were a kid?
All right, I think you caught us. Dave, were you really bad when you were a kid? It's probably best he doesn't say anything. That way he can't incriminate himself.
You know, a lot of people ask me if I was as bad as David, if I did all of those things. And you know what? I did some of them.
Yeah.
Well, a lot of them. But I didn't do all of them. Some of them were things that my brother did, or my friends did, or my nephew did, and I took them and I mixed them all together and made David do all of them. I don't think
Except he
any
does
kid
run around with his pants off. Next question, please.
After you wrote Knucklehead, did any of your brothers, say, I don't remember it that way, or,
That's a good question.
That's a great question. Yeah, no, mostly my brother said like, oh, I remember that and some other stuff.
Yeah.
Though it was my mom who was a little surprised.
Didn't they say something about their share of the royalties, too?
Yeah, they talked about royalties, but don't listen to them. I'm the guy who wrote it. I put in whatever I want. Wow, we're getting into deep territory
Yeah,
here.
we are.
How long has you two known each other?
Since what, about 1923?
It seems like 1920.
Since Prohibition. Yeah.
But probably like 10 years or so.
We're making up for that, though, I'll tell you.
15 years? Because we know. Where are you going, man? Thank God you got the ambassador with you.
Well, I know,
More
I
questions,
need that
please.
immunity.
Uh-oh, we got a dangerous one. She's got a turtle.
Yeah, watch out for the turtle.
How did they make Robot Zot?
How did they make Robot Zot?
You mean like on another planet?
Yeah.
Like at the robot factory.
At the robot factory.
Yeah. Only with Robot Zot, they left a few things out of his brain.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
What was your favorite thing in Knucklehead?
What was my favorite thing in Knucklehead? I don't know if I can say. Can we be? I think I really enjoyed the part of prank calling on our younger brothers. When we tried to get them to go to bed and they wouldn't go to bed, we'd pick up the phone and dial 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 and say, hello, bad boys home? Come and pick 2 more up. And then hang up the phone. Then they'd run to bed. All right, well, thanks, guys. You're a spectacular audience. Thanks for sticking it out so long. You're amazing. We salute you.
Are they going to do the robot?
Oh, yeah, we need one last thing. We need everyone to actually do the robot. Everywhere we've been going in schools, we had kids do their robot dance. On the count of 3. 1, 2, 3. Robot Zot. Robot Zot.
Robot Zot.
Oh,
That
thank
is
you,
very
robots.
nice.
Yeah.
Thank you, everyone. Beautiful.
What a good bunch of robots.
Robots, no kidding. Is that your card?
Oh, I got her card ready. She reviews books.
Oh.
This has been a presentation of the Library of Congress. Visit us at loc.gov.